matrix for establishing property from the beginning is insufficient. And the example that I gave last week was wanting to keep a section.
You get a little frosty on the ground now.
Right, like I want this river, this hill, this rock, right, to be as it is, because that's the way that I
get the flack out. Finally done.
Concept of open, unaltered nature. Right. Yep. That's the trade-off.
Now, and that's not the trade-off I'm willing to make.
Well, what you get in exchange for that is the possibility of consistency.
And I would disagree with that, because if I want to keep it pristine,
so like by your view of what people ought to and not ought to be recognized as owning, you should do everything that the government tells you.
No, you should defend it against the government. But let me make my case. I was quiet for you to go on and drone on about cell phones and whatnot. If I want to keep the land pristine, I should be able to do that. And your view of, well, if I come along and mow you the grass, that automatically becomes mine, that, in my view, introduces conflict. And you, in your opening statement, established that we're both trying to set up a system that avoids conflict. And the easiest way to avoid conflict under the system of, like, well, mine, because I've declared it to be so and I can defend it, is just to recognize it as mine, instead of trying to establish an alternative claim to it, like you would.
Okay, so one of the rules for what you can and cannot claim?
That which you can and cannot defend. Like, that's it. If you can defend it against...
So then I don't even know what you have and haven't claimed until you shoot me for mowing the grass.
No, because again, you're assuming that everything wants to go to violence, and I'm saying this is a better way to remedy.
So if you've decided this particular woods, these are my woods, I own them, I'm keeping them natural, and I really want to get some of that wood that's right there that no one's using.
Yep.
Okay.
And I go, hey,
how are we supposed to not be at conflict?
I go, hey, Peakless, like, these are my woods.
Why are they yours?
Because I've declared it to be so, and you want to be peaceful, and I want to be peaceful. So I go, Peakless, those are my woods. You know, I want to keep them pristine. And you go, oh, sorry, bro, I didn't know that these were yours.
Oh, well,
I'm not going to
I claimed those woods before you did.
And then now we're in conflict, regardless of whether or not there's grass growing that needs to be mowed down. Because the criminal that would override that and insert conflict is going to insert conflict with whether or not you mowed the grass.
How do you know it's right or not? Like, maybe I did actually claim that forest before you did.
Okay.
Every other species generally, and I was like, I've never heard anybody saying space aliens told them shit like that. Just a good detail of writing.
No, and why haven't they killed us?
We work with them. They're not like how he describes them. I was like, I've heard this story before. Like, there's even whiter creatures at the top, like treating us like ape children, like that. He like. So, and I can't tell if he consciously is putting that in there because he's faking a story, or that's the story. But I can see that being the story. Then I remembered maybe at 2011 or 12, there was a hilarious article about Iran put out this crazy article about how Obama works with these aliens called the Tall Whites. That's the first time I ever heard the Tall Whites. I had never, ever heard of the Tall Whites until that wacky McDonald's beaming into your dreams like article. So I was like, oh yeah, and then I back and looked at it. And I'm like, yeah, Russians just leaked this to the
That makes sense to me about Obama.
Either they or a reptilian alien contacted the Nazis in the war through their occult.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus
Here.
Christ.
Well, they conjure.
Okay, so
Oh, fucking car scares the shit out of me, man.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that, and Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but now that when I go down the holes, because there's all these people that are Bible scholars, you can see all their,
Right.
so I'm like fascinated by it, and so there's stuff that like you might like, for example, let's talk about Lucifer. Lucifer is not the devil's name. It was never. That was some Catholic
Right.
Iranians or something. It's somebody just put that on it, like how it always happens.
Right.
That was it was a metaphor, but it was Saturn, the light bringer, because a bright star. He's comparing a Babylonian king to it. Really, you could just say celebrity, like you're a star,
Right.
a Lucifer. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he meant that in general. That is not one of the names of Satan. In fact, Satan, very early on, before they got written down later, was really not a character who just means adversary, because his job is to test, like Job. He's like, God, he's not good. He's trying to trick you. Like, he works for God. That's how that started. That
Yeah, I know. They made a big trick on all humans when they said it was a being outside of the body, outside of your own body. Because
Well, I think it is that, by the way.
But originally it is an impulse, an impulse in you, a negative impulse in you to make you act negatively. And then they harness that, and then they can manipulate it. But it's an internal enemy.
Yeah, is how we sell all of our products.
Right.
Like,
Hey, the CDC says I should eat 6 cups of fruit and veggies a day. Well, there's zero chance I'm eating 6 cups of fruit and veggies a day. And I don't have the time or desire to eat 6 cups of fruit and veggies a day. But according to a massive study, people who eat a healthy diet like that live longer and have less heart disease and diabetes and less cancer. Okay. Well, I take Field of Greens, and I'll tell you why. Unlike other fruit and vegetable supplements, each specific fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was medically selected to support specific functions like heart health, liver
they got
and
salt
kidney
all over the
health,
roads here, too.
immune system and metabolism. I take Field of Greens to help me stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
I saw that. I take Field of Greens to help me stay healthy. Field of Greens works fast. If you're like me, you'll feel healthier, have more energy. Your skin and hair will look healthier, and it can help you lose weight. I guess I'll have to try it. But the biggest benefit is the better health promise. Take Field of Greens, and at your next doctor visit, if your doctor doesn't say something like, whatever you're doing, it's working, keep it up, return it for a refund.
joke's on you. I don't even have insurance.
And to help you get started, I got you 15% off with your first order. Plus, get another 10% off when you subscribe for recurring orders. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code RB. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code RB.
Excellent. I've actually been taking stuff for real the last 3 days. I've been doing it. It's pretty good.
Really? I'm going to
It's
start
like-
today.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
they do something that's
It's a
actually
whole
get nutrients
fruit
out of
vegetable,
it.
and they freeze dry it and then they pulverize it. So you're actually getting 6
Yeah.
of whole fruit. It's real. It's
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
My other friends have it on their podcast.
Yeah.
And they've taken it, and I'm going to start it because they said you want to do it.
I really do feel, I know it's an ad and it sounds like bullshit, but I really do feel better because I'm not getting enough nutrition with what I eat, and it really does fill the gaps. They're whole fruit and whole vegetables.
I mean,
100%.
walnuts, and they hardly have much nutrients as you think they do.
I was telling my friend who was in Iraq, like, if they just got together in in robes and like drank a baby once a weekend, That's all they did. That would be. I'd make that deal with them. You could drink a baby once a week in a secret forest. That would be the least evil thing that they're doing in front of your face all day.
Absolutely.
We had a 20-year devil sacrifice in the Middle East. What in the fuck was that?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I say my friends are soldiers. They go, what the fuck was that? None of it made any sense. And I went along with it. I lived in New York. I remember everybody's like, yeah, somebody with a funny hat's blowing up. That stupid of a feeling.
Right.
And all the races united in it.
Fascinating. Okay.
Right?
I'm with
There's a
you.
blackout right after it in New York. I was there. And, the notorious 70s ones were like, I guess just modern times now in New York. But it was a party. Everyone was just walking around, hanging out, being cool because 9/11 had happened. Nobody had it in them to do a riot after that. It was just being like really cool.
Yeah, I was shocked when I turned on the TV and saw the Twin Towers on fire and all that going on. And I thought that it was another planet because there was all these guys in suits and they were handing out water and applauding for the blue-collar first responders. And I go, my God, have I died and gone to heaven where the speculators are actually thanking the people that do the real work?
Well, they're not giving them any money for their illnesses, so that's why.
I know it was 2 days later where they cut all their benefits.
No, you get a firm handshake and a thank you.
But still, that was a
And
lot.
now you've got cancer, and
That
I
was a
just
lot.
happen to own, we just happen to own all the cancer treatment facilities too, and we'll get rich off that too. But it was all just, don't you think it was all just a big ass insurance scam?
If not literally, then metaphorically, certainly. Like, that's the kind of thing that I think the plots are the most, is like that.
Yeah, they're all like that.
They're all like, wait,
But-
is this all that this is?
Yeah, and then people will add Byzantine layers of bullshit to it.
Well,
But it's all the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. There's nothing else to know.
Well, also, this made me laugh. My girl never saw Eyes Wide Shut. Okay?
Uh-huh.
I forgot how terrible of a movie it is.
It's terrible.
I mean, it's like stupid. Not
Well, because they wouldn't let him do what he wanted to do, and they kept censoring him all through it until he finally went mad and died.
Well, I just mean I didn't believe Tom Cruise and but the orgy, the rich people orgy.
But she was great.
No, yeah,
I believe Nicole Kidman because first of all, I knew she grew up in that kind of a family. I mean, her dad he's one of them.
oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, the orgy that he goes to, I always went to a sketch of, remember the piano player with the blindfold?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta be an Eyes Wide Shut comedian. Like, I can't do crowd work.
Take my wife, please.
But he's walking through this orgy, and it looks like, I know poor people have better orgies than this. I know that it's just like everybody's sitting, and then, by the way, you have a mask on, so nobody's getting blown, nobody can do drugs. It's just two people fucking on a shelf while you stand there with the shittiest. Why would you want to listen to that while you fuck chanting? Rock and roll is a devil music you could play. That would be way better. Oh, and I was laughing because, like, even way back when Bohemian Grove came out, right? And I remember at the time I was in Art Institute in Philly. My roommate had the tape of that, and I wasn't impressed. I'm like, oh, they're just corny, like. And because I didn't understand that's what rich people.
I know what you mean because I always said that. You mean I don't want to get in trouble, but I thought, well, Christ, I've snuck into all these secret things, and that's at the end. It's just a bunch of guys wearing dresses and wigs.
Yeah,
that's
right.
what the whole thing
'Cause,
is.
like,
It's a bunch of guys dressing up like women.
Yeah, right.
That's all it's about.
Well,
What a fucking bore. It's
Yeah.
cornball to the max.
That's why you're not welcome there. When I was at the shows, I was saying this at the festival. I'm like, listen, you don't understand. Like, these rich people can't just fuck at the bus stop like you people on the way to this festival. Just twerk in the streets like they gotta go in the woods and all wear robes and take a devil vow just to like fuck a prostitute or be whatever
That's a good
they
point.
all have to because they have to blackmail each other.
Right, that's a
And
point.
That's what gets them off.
That's what
Yeah,
it
and
is, yeah.
here's the ultimate thing that I don't trust.
Knowing that they own somebody's soul. I mean, they do get off on that.
You know the dark side of the
bullshit matrix.
Well, yeah, the comforting Nathan Lane movie in the 90s gay versus these people you're like, are you gay? I'm like, no. And I'm like, why would you possibly not say you're gay at this point in time? No, I'm not. And Roy Cohn gay, I call it.
Yeah.
I just want the maximum amount of benefit that I could possibly get. And hey, with my very thing that I'm pretending is important, whatever, if that doesn't get me ahead a little bit more, nobody needs to know.
Well, that's a psychopath.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
Extra credit, motherfucker.
Yeah, who gives a shit who they want to have sex with or what religion, their color they are? They're a fucking psychopath, and that's a thing all its own, right? I like when everyone rushes to defend a psychopath because they have the same skin color as them, and they think that that's some kind of good thing.
Or if I just really aspire to their success in life, that I project my own story onto in some way, because we vaguely, under the Census Bureau standards, look like each other.
Yeah.
I'm probably fat and they're way better looking than me. That's me. These shows are all a mirror. Look at it. I'm that handsome guy.
Right?
What?
Psychopathology. But I don't think poor working people, they don't have it as much as people who aspire to climb to the top of the ladder. Those guys are all fucked. They're all crazy.
Okay, there's a glass ceiling.
Yeah.
So, of where you can go. I saw this guy Charleston White say it. He's exactly right. There's a glass ceiling of how far you go if you're not willing to be. And the guy from Brand Nubian, that rapper, was saying this, and he's right. He was to defend somebody who was like, they want to turn you gay. You know, somebody said that about Hollywood, some rapper. But he goes, what he's saying, and when the guy's saying they want to turn you gay, I know what he's saying immediately. It's what's your personal thing that your line, you're going to cross it. Whatever it is, what's your line to cross? We need to see you do that. We need it in front of us right now, please.
The thing you think is morally wrong, we need you to
Yeah, so most people would not even need to prove themselves that hard by like drinking a full baby. You can prove it by just fucking do a line. You could probably do it biker ways. It's like
but it grows exponentially because of the thrill. Like all the serial killers start out as window peepers, and the thrill, it has to always be new, like chasing the dragon, like doing hair.
Yeah.
So they got to have a bigger risk every time. So of course, eventually it comes to, sacrificing kids and drinking.
Well, I mean, look, if you can't come,
and especially after Hollywood, after you won an Oscar, what's next? It's like eating a live fucking baby. What else?
I asked Charlie Sheen that same question, and he wouldn't tell me.
That guy's a real study.
Yeah, I wrote on his roast.
You did?
Yes, last time I hung out with Patrice. He was very charming, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he is charming.
Yeah,
All of them are charming.
He was incredible.
Patrice!
Yeah.
Oh my God, how much do we miss that fucker?
Oh yeah, I think about it all the time.
How genius was that guy?
We just it's pretty first, but like he just wasn't right all the time. He's just honest all the time.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's crazy. That's what's crazy, is to be honest.
Somebody said once that I heard, I think it was my boyfriend Johnny back in the day, says, as honest as you dare. As honest as you dare.
Yeah, right.
Right? Hey, hi everybody. Look I just got my new care package from our good inDOCtriNATION today, and use the code Roseanne at the checkout to get 10% off.
I'm sure there's already an AI that works and does whatever the hell, obviously. Why would you be allowed to play with it on your phone?
Right.
If it's a new... when I looked up that woman with the earbuds to see where she stands on this, and I couldn't... Sometimes look like she did it, sometimes look like she's not.
Yeah.
She was saying, we've had these machines for a while, these big machines that could do it. But, now we're talking earbuds stuff.
Right.
We have. The thing we didn't find, but where the kid from MIT, he's like a Mark Zuckerberg, but he's Indian, so it's more diverse and it's better. He has like an Xbox player thing, and I can't remember the guy's name. He's one of the white guys from 60 Minutes. Kind of always like, did you just order pizza with your mind? He goes, yeah. He just sits there. It's like pepperoni, And there's some girl who's
Holy
like,
shit, this
I
is-
don't believe you. And I'm watching, and the reason it's freaking me out is because after I watched this Persian lady talk about it, she said the way they're going to introduce this is, hey, monitor your brain health. You know, with brain whatever. No, it's dumber than that. It's you can order pizza. Hey, you get pizza.
They'd market test
You-
that would work
wait.
better.
You can read my mind, and you know what I'm thinking is pizza. That's what the guy 60 Minutes is saying.
Yeah.
So that's a really, once you see the first thing into that, it's really creepy to see how it will be sold to my good friend Big J. I promise you, my best friend in comedy, Big J Okerson, will be the first one to have brain reading earbuds. Like, no, dude, you're gonna pizza what you want. He will. I'll never be able to talk him out
I
of
was
it.
gonna say, Mom, you probably will too, right? You're already
But
sold.
by the time that day comes, guess what? There won't be a pizza. You'll think you got one.
I heard some stuff.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, but the
I heard-
tall whites, right? That guy Charles Hall was talking about stuff they had. So they weren't telepathic. They had a halo thing that they wear on their head, and they could talk into your mind or read. And it looks.
Okay, so it's technological.
Yeah, so the thing he's described. So this is what I'm talking about, a real thing, and then a fanciful story. It sounded like this sounds familiar, and I'm just like talking about. I'm like, this sounds like the thing that guy was saying the tall whites had.
Yeah.
Did they give us that technology eventually, and we had to figure, because that's where what's the tube? Jeez, I'm so not a scientist.
I know
The tubes with light,
Transformer.
the wiring, like they use light transfer for your internet and shit. Fiber optics. That's supposedly from the tall whites.
Oh,
It's
really?
fiber optic. Yeah, that's what they had their stuff.
All right, so
yeah,
I can
so
trace
that's
your
weird that's a thing that's crazy, a brain reading thing, and the way they're talking about the machine, wherever it sounds just like this guy's story about what these tall whites had.
Right. Okay, so I see what you're saying now.
So you're saying that
I do get to it eventually.
40 minutes
so you're
later.
saying that
It takes a
saying that the tall whites
You know what I
are aliens. They're not human. They're from another,
Who
whatever
in the
Alien.
fuck knows?
plane or whatever.
But they're not us. They're not
They're
us.
not us, and they're like guides or teachers or something. They're teaching us.
Well, like a base on the way to fix their shit to other shit is how he described it. And also didn't want to help us because we don't want you flying around with nuclear weapons in space. And we're making a deal. And he said the two generals that were up when they went to the moon that flew up with them and saw he saw like the generals coming out of this thing rolling around laughing on the ground because they were up there watching the whole thing in a tall white crowd. Tall white wanted to offer to, so he has plenty of there's plenty of worlds to live on. People you can fight on it. It's like we have one you can help us build base, but they want to control the flight, and we were like, no, we want the technology. And by the way, anti-gravity probe. Oh, they're not from aliens. So we have anti-gravity drones. We have that now, and you're running your yap at me about my carbon footprint. What the fuck is it like? Those things are real, and I don't think that it was just our amazing innovations. That's the part that opens up all the other things. I'm like, oh, the whole narrative is goddamn bullshit. That motherfucker cheated and set up a fake story about his thing, and that, never mind the government or what, just think of YouTube personalities or celebrities. Like, it's everything. America's a big pyramid scheme. That's why we got that. That's our national scheme.
I totally believe that. I totally can go for
It's a stable base. So
yeah.
it's really like amazing, and everybody arranges it. Like, yeah, you're right.
It's mass formation, mass psychosis, and mass.
Why, like Amway? Remember, you know, they did Amway.
Yeah.
So when I was in church, when my best friend in church, by the way, his family, I used to watch Roseanne. They were huge fans of. I would be at their house. They bring fought a lot, so I hang out at my friend's house. So I always be at their house. And I remember we graduated high school. These are my congregation, Jehovah's Witnesses, really 17. He goes, listen, when you come by my house later, I got a business proposition. I go, okay.
You know, it's a pyramid.
Who's my girlfriend? I go, okay. He goes, and where's some like dress up? I was like, oh my God, like, does he want me to suck his dick? Why would he possibly? Like, well, he doesn't want to. Who would start a business with me or him? So whatever, I go over and half the congregation's there, some other people, and there's a guy. I swear, got a white like suit and like a white, like the monorail guy from The Simpsons. That like wasn't exactly that, but it was like, well, that white on white really stands out. You know, a bulletin board. He's explaining Amway, you know, the American way. That's what it's called. Yeah. And he explained how you bring somebody in your network. And he did it with grape clusters. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know, does it sound like a pyramid scheme? It's actually grapes. You see this grape, talks to this grape. I'm like sitting there, like watching everybody. Yeah. And I couldn't even get my head around what the business was. I remember I sincerely was like, I guess I should really be like interested in this. You know, like I go, can I just like, because he spent most of the time trashing other brands of toothpaste. Like, you know, they do, what do you use, crust? Like that shit. Oh, they're the ones that made up the shit about Procter & Gamble worship the devil. That's Amway.
Is that real?
Yeah, they got sued for that. I can't remember the comic's name.
Amway said that they worship the devil. Procter & Gamble.
That's where that dumbass shit. I remember a sister at my hall telling my mom, yeah, like, I was young when I heard that. I'm like, I knew that was not possible. These two old men from the 1800s are like, we're here to say we love Satan.
Now
I'm sure that happened.
Yeah, it might be.
No
true.
internet. So then, you know, so I didn't want to do. So I asked the guy if I could just buy tea. He goes, you don't understand what this is. I did not. I still don't. Like, what if I want to buy crack? Right? And I'm like, can I buy crack? I'm like, well, no, you have to sell crack to your friends and family, and then you will get a shipment of crack. Like, no, I'd like to just be the customer. I don't want to go into the crack business. That's what the fuck it is.
It is. That is what it is.
Did I just suck your dick instead of this? Is it too late?
Are people, like, how stupid do you think?
It's not a matter of stupid. It's a matter of if you're a personality. A bunch of people could get. Jehovah's Witnesses is, I mean, I guess a religion that proselytizes is like by nature supposed to be a multi-level. You're supposed to get people in your networks, right? But it's not. You're not going to get rich from it.
Right.
I mean, in heaven, storing up treasures, that.
And tithing.
But there's a creepy arc, and I realize it's not. It's been going on forever because that is the American way. It's like there's the sucker level of like I want to do a thing and then get paid for my service, and then there's like the where you get it level. You're like, no, you wanted some people just handing you money all the time because they're invested in you. Like how Sam Harris does. He's got a nice meditation empire of atheist meditation on the side.
Right.
And that's why he sits there saying the dumbest shit I've ever heard from supposedly. Do you ever see these things he says?
Oh, yeah. He's gone off the deep end.
Yeah, he went off.
He's off the deep end. He's got a fucking... Dude, if you've cultivated... Now they've even made it unhealthy beyond how unhealthy it is to be a celebrity thing of the internet shit of they're invested in you in your personal shit, right? Like, it's all the worst. And you owe them. Now that they represent you, this is why it's so crazy they came up with that shit. Because it's fucked up for the person getting the part. Now you're not a person. Now you're them. Right. How dare you do the thing I wouldn't do? Aren't you me? They said you were me. Like that's what that shit is. So you can sit and pretend, like I don't know, like a baby driving with a fake steering wheel or something, and that's a trap for everybody. It's not just like an honest, like on like crack, an honest interaction. We're supposed to like really hit. Like you can't buy crack. You got to hang out too. That's the business model. I just want everything from you.
Yeah.
Is that different than TV though, Ma? In the old days, it's not different.
It's
who can use the new technology to do the thing that we've always done,
right?
And find out how to innovate this. Now I want to steal the same way I've always stolen, or perhaps more.
Right.
So just cut to how you can do this.
Even 2 steps ahead of everybody, even more because they don't get the technology.
Right.
Then I'm reason to steal from them.
Not at all. It's been explained to me many times. I think the devil lives in the screen, and just put out. That's what I. No, I'm sure it's good that we all. So all this amazing technology, by the way, where we got invisible jets and shit, amazing the advances. And then on the home front, we have a pocket North Korea that listens to us all day and punishes us. Thank you, pocket. Like I've been carrying around a fucking
Pocket North.
North Korea jerk offs because like they have like people that have to like listen on the. Like, you don't even have the technology to make them North Korea themselves. Oh, this is so much better.
This is such a good fucking point. God.
It's crazy. I like how you said that Ukraine made COVID go away.
Oh, that cure? I said it was the final cure. No, I'm not a doctor. I'll make that clear. I just noticed I didn't give a shit about it once Ukraine happened, as I'm sure most of us did.
Yeah, it was
Ukraine.
It was totally gone.
My main thing I'm into now is Ukraine, but I'm looking to get into some other stuff too. Maybe.
I wonder what they'll give us to talk about next.
Oh, now it's going to be, yes, be racist to China. We're going to be switching over to a be racist to China mode very soon.
You think?
I'm
Well,
okay.
we
with
might
that.
have to get in a war with them. They're Russia's good friend.
Oh my God, it's so
I know.
scary.
We're already
It's
at
so
war.
scary.
Why did I don't?
People just digest it all. Nobody
Well, I-
says anything about any of it.
I hate the people that I'm told to hate, but I just don't understand why we send all our jobs in viral research to them. To the people we hate the most. Like, why do we send our jobs and viruses there to be worked on? Still no
Why?
answer that I understand about it. I really don't know what the big game is there because they had a whole crazy ass lockdowns.
We fund it and we get the money. We talked about it with so big on our episode.
Well, we have to pay for getting killed.
We pay for them to develop and then we own it, basically.
Here's what I would think.
Because we can't do it.
Jimmy said this, it makes me laugh. The calls coming from inside the house. All the things. Remember the spy balloon?
Yeah.
And I had my suspicions that it was not a Chinese spy balloon, just because it was a big school bus sized balloon to Billings, Montana. Is that how they do it now with the balloon? Yeah, no. Okay. And it came from China, you say? All the way in from China. Okay, so it sailed over like 8,000. Here's the map of bases we have between here and China,
Yeah.
directly surrounding China.
Yeah.
None of them caught the big school bus balloon of spy. None of them any bases. They even picked it out. No, it's not. That's why they use them. They're that good. Balloons. And they said I could have told China everything they want to know about Billings, Montana for $6.
Yeah.
They're the third drunkest city, and they're proud of that. And they're the third best at it. Yeah, that'll help, I guess.
What do you think that was, those balloons?
It was exactly an accidental thing. That was there was an uncharacteristic. And the reason I know is because Aaron recovered it. This is one of the scariest things. Never mind all that. I hope there's something as exciting as Alpha Germans. I hope it's that cool. Probably just an FTX kid. Like, we read an article from the Post of the Times.
Nice. Is it working good?
Propaganda outlets, and it said the headline was Chinese spy
Yeah,
balloon.
printer's all fixed.
And then in the article, it goes on to tell you, depending on saying, it's probably not a Chinese spy balloon. In the article.
Yeah.
That's not the first time. I've got at least 3 or 4 now. I would never read these articles unless I was having a Zyka and Jimmy show ever. So I'm reacting to them. And I'm like, how the fuck is that thing?
The hot water is
Now, I
important.
know editors. I have friends that did all this shit. So the editor picks the headline. Like,
Right.
you don't write. Like, I've seen people get mad at, comedy too. Like some reporter and the headline's like really shitty. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. I just wrote the thing. And then, so, okay, the papers want this to be a spy balloon. Why didn't Biden do something? And Biden's not saying it's not a spy balloon. Because we're all in on this. Eventually, we do have to fight it out with China because they might have a blue water navy. I don't even know what that is, but that's
No, what is it?
those are boats that can leave their solar system of China. Hillary always talks about it. They're going to have a blue water navy. It turns out America actually controls all the seas.
Yeah, I knew that.
I didn't. I would have felt somebody could have felt good about it if I had been told. I didn't know the whole time we owned the sea.
Yeah.
Well,
All
China.
waterways.
If China had a blue water navy that could go around, they would have that. And we ain't having that. That's the threat, the whole threat, as explained to me by Hillary. We rule the world. I don't know if you're about the liberal world order.
Oh, I know.
The post, like the really not at all ominous sounding post-liberal world order with a lot of Germans. And we'll both be nice and call them Ukrainian war victims from the 40s. Everybody, we're all victims.
All right, so what was the spy
you're
balloon
right on
now?
it. You are on it.
He's dead.
It was just a fucking weapon.
I had mushrooms last night. That's funny you said do that.
We're not going to give up
Well, why would we shoot it down then, if it was just one of ours?
because Biden's getting shit for not shooting it down. A bunch of them know it's not a spy balloon, except for like people I know that are in media. They'll just spy
But
balloon
why wouldn't Biden just say that's a weather balloon?
because he can't be soft on China. Okay, they're saying it is, and also they are going to want to have a war with China.
Right.
So it's like you
Well,
can't
China
waste.
owns Biden.
You can't be like anything peaceable. Remember when Trump really fucked up and
By
didn't?
having peace.
Yeah, that was one of the darkest days in American history. They killed one of our drones, and we just let them know it's okay to kill a very expensive drone.
Yeah.
And what's America even going to do about it? Not kill 20 of your 30
I
of
know,
your people?
and Trump did not kill any people at weddings or any of that stuff. You know, he didn't drone any weddings or bar mitzvahs or.
He even double tap one of them. Did you hear the double? I think it was called the double tap, where when people go in to help them, then you do them again.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Really?
Yeah. So I mean, look, when I say that, I think the viewers can see how, hey, maybe Nazis rule us from Antarctica is not as far fetched.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what you're saying.
Before, under Obama, we had a 9 out of 10 of the people we droned were not terrorists of any kind.
No, they were women and children.
That's a bad ratio. That's not collateral damage. That's just damage. The collateral damage would be if you happen to hit a terrorist. Like, you know, I don't think it was that bad.
No, but don't you think that, like, we'll get in trouble for this because it's true, but don't you think that the whole Obama thing was where they really came at us with anti-logic mind control? I mean, there was some logic to it before him. I mean, it was breaking down.
Yeah, I took it as, I did see it, and I took it as like, oh, okay, so like when like Reagan's in and like the real loony Bible basher people that they're using and they don't like them and whatever, that's when they get too bold in their social dominance.
Yeah.
And because I just looked at Obama, like, he's just like Democrat Reagan. I didn't think that was like a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
I was like, why, I don't understand why they call him in fact, I would be more defensive of him because they would call him a communist and a Muslim. I would go, President Droney? Like, I mean, I guess he does blow up enough Muslims to qualify to be a Muslim. But ain't nobody blow up as many as us. And yeah, like we're rocking all the numbers of on top of the board, and we better because that's I never understood all this shit, man. Like exceptionalism. I thought that was some philosophical thing. But no, and around the time of the Iraq Gulf, the second one, they just said, no, it means like we can just do what we want. Like we're an exception. They literally transitioned it.
Exception.
They took the metaphor and transitioned it into, yeah, no, that's what it means.
Oh, that's really true.
Yeah, that's the talent of like your robes and your like, it's like picking out like, okay, I know how do I trick these people that I look down on and what do they care about emotionally that I know you could just say it and we'll do it like,
Freedom
yeah,
fries.
What was that?
Freedom fries. Freedom fries.
You know that guy who got that going? We had this lady from Code Pink on.
Oh, God.
Wars.
I got in a fight with her right in the street. What's her name?
I don't know, but I don't know what her, you know, like all of those groups, there'll be, her coming on was like good because they, you know, all these groups get infiltrated by like nonsense people, you know. But anyway, she actually knows the guy came with Freedom Fries. That guy ended up, I might be getting this wrong, but I swear he said he went to like every funeral of every troop that came back. He went to all the funerals, that guy, and it freaked him out, and he hated war after that. It's like actually a wild story. The guy that came up, we're going to call him Freedom Fries, but it's the guy. I know exactly the thing where you believe in the thing, and you did. Then you realize, like, oh, you kind of have a problem if you really believe in it.
Oh yeah, I know
You're supposed to
exactly
have
what-
this sense to like
Yeah.
turn a blind eye.
Well, I think that that's a lot of religion too. It's like, what,
Yeah.
you really believe it? Or you're crazy. You're supposed to.
It's a good thing I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I'll be very disruptive. We're not trying to be a dick. Just excited to talk about the thing, and it wouldn't be good for the congregation.
No,
My sincere interest is not for the group.
I found that out in my religion because I say, oh, but you know, this and that and the other.
What was
And they're
it?
like, well, I'm a Jew, so they're like, huh? Wait a minute, are you saying you don't really believe that? Are
Oh,
you
yeah,
saying
right.
you really believe that? Well, yeah. Don't you? Well, no. It's just stories.
Well, are you saying this at a like a temple or something? Like,
Yeah, all the time. And
that's what
even
makes it
in
weird.
groups.
Not it's not like at your house saying you're at the thing and like, what are you believe this?
The
Like,
fuck
why
is
we
that?
here?
Everything, like in the family at like, you know, holidays.
You got a gifted
and
membership?
occasions. They say, well, this and that and the other, and they're like, what? you don't really believe that. Well, you know, because I quote, well, what about this scripture, blah, blah. What?
Who's bringing scripture to this religious
Well,
level?
'cause you got it. Also, then I should date this girl who's Israeli.
That's hilarious.
If not like reform, I guess you call it. But she'd been on like that trip to where they try to get you to like get pregnant to populate Israel. You know that trip that the Jewish kids take? Birthright. That's what it is.
To get pregnant?
It's like putting you. They pair you off, and they're hoping that you
Oh,
fuck.
that you'll get married? And,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I didn't know that.
I mean, I the closest thing I can relate it to is when I went to prom and there's like a bunch of kids, like their parents got them hotel rooms. I'm like, are you trying to get them?
Oh, yeah.
It's something like that, but I guess there's a demographics race going on in the area. Not so
Now,
crazy.
listen, before we wrap up, because I know I can see Jake's wrapping us up.
No, you can
gotta
go as long
wrap
as you
up
want.
the Antarctica shit.
Yeah, let's wrap up the Antarctica
Oh,
like that.
well, I will do right now. That guy said that direct energy weapon that he says accidentally caused a Christchurch, New Zealand earthquake,
Oh,
a friendly fire incident.
what about that?
Not only that,
Well, say again.
the Christchurch, New
The
Zealand
guy
from Antarctica.
you were
Raytheon.
talking to. What's
I was talking to him with that video.
No, you saw the video. Okay.
He said not
He
only
said-
is that a direct energy weapon, that the Christchurch, New Zealand
Yeah.
earthquake was from that as a friendly fire incident. I mean, best case scenario. And also, they can project things into like a voice into your head.
Yeah, I
Voice
did
to
that.
skull.
Voice to skull, yeah.
Yeah, and then I started laughing when I was watching it. I was like, oh, there's a clown beam from Antarctica. That's why all this shit's like this. So somebody
Wait.
from Antarctica beaming clown messages into your head. Why do you think it's clown world? Like,
Yeah, it's a brain scramble, right? It's
Well,
a brain scramble.
the guy interviewing, well, what are you supposed to do about that? He goes, you just got to know yourself. And I was thinking about that because if you have a certain thing where you're like, I already left a religion where you get like this fellowships, right? I already had like a thing in me where I'm like kind of like a dick of like, well, fuck you. Like, so, especially if I think they're not doing the thing that they said they're doing, you know, like, and I don't have any fear about my social standing at all. Like, I'm like, that's not me. But I have a bunch of friends of mine. I know somebody like got pressured to go on a gay date, this girl, and she got guilted, like liberal guilted, you know, real Hollywood kind of shit.
She got guilted to go on a date with a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you probably don't put 2 or 3. I mean, everybody out there. Just people that don't, especially in this kind of shit, you know, the amount like you don't know yourself.
No, we still
even,
got-
like, what's going to make you happy or any of that. And you're entirely, like Sean Penn is
16
going to be
minutes
defined
left.
by this.
By the-
Yeah.
16 minutes and we're home.
By this amazing Ukrainian
Oh, yeah,
documentary.
definitely.
Like you can see how these people.
John Cusack, too. Who, you know, I always said, after you scratch somebody like that, a real liberal activist type, real lefty, after you scratch down deep enough, there's always a fucking Nazi there.
Why do you say that? But why?
Because
Not that I don't believe it. But
they're all the same. I mean,
yes,
they're
yes.
book burning censors and fascists.
It's
Although
all the
they
same.
call it progressive or whatever, but they're always trying to stick their nose in somebody else's fucking business, especially if they have a different belief system than them.
It's a
They
genuine,
can't
yeah.
stand anybody who thinks different than them. They just want to hear their own fucking opinion over and over and over.
Well, they got to be told what it is, a lot of them. And then I think a bunch of it is just,
Well, the Nazis are freedom fighters and they're the future, and they think right, and they know that. I don't know what.
No, Azov.
Everything's the Jews' fault. Okay.
So first of all, Zelensky's Jewish, so how could they have a problem with Nazis? That's the retort. But Zelensky's
That's
Jewish.
what they always say. Like they say that about Obama too. Well, he's black. Yeah, but he presided over the death of the black working class and middle class. He presided over that, like I knew Hillary was going to preside over the death of women's rights. So that is why they're there. That's why they're there.
Yes.
Because the owners put the right person in the window, so they have plausible deniability. But they're always the worst.
Yeah, you want the prettiest face of the thing.
Yeah, but they put them in there to protect them, so you can never talk about racism if it's a black guy there.
Well, no, you could do it if it's not racism. Like you should definitely call racism every single time. You should ignore any actual. So there's read this story about some group black.
They like to call it racism when it's really classful.
Yes.
Like to do
Oh, that's what I'm getting at. Yes. So I don't know when. I remember I started seeing it online, but a bunch of these dipshits say this that classism downstream of racism.
No.
Yeah, right. Like how a dog is a kind of German Shepherd. It's much the same. Like, what are you talking about? I think we just arranged it so that way so Kamala Harris can imprison more slave labor unjustly that's black.
No shit.
Like, all that shit's a big crock of shit, obviously.
All a crock of shit. And you're being played.
But
people are like, well, and then they defend it. And like, you're going to lose your house tomorrow. Did you not notice that?
all you gotta do is be honest and not. When I had all the media to get me, I remember, for a week, and I mean, it was wild.
Why did they come for you?
First degree hashtag not believing women right when it first came out. And no, I said they shouldn't handle rape accusations over social media. There was an announcement made that UCB has done an internal investigation and determined some guy that I don't know is guilty of rape. That's a real post. Mike Shea had posted it and they're like, God damn, call the police. All right. And I saw him like, what in the, just on his thing. And all this blowback started coming at me. And then, because I was definitely an addict to that shit, I would engage with people like an old person who thinks they're talking to the Prince of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Sit there.
Yeah.
No, I gotta settle this.
That's mom now. She does that on
like
Twitter.
that, yeah.
It's made to make you fucking crazy.
That's what
And
I
I would be crazy. And I was like, well, this is how I write jokes. It's like I'm just bringing my project. If you don't like it, I'll look at like all kinds of shit that I'm an idiot didn't understand what the whole thing was. So people, and what I also understand, it's not just like some government intelligence agency doing shit, although they definitely do that.
Yeah.
It's also just nobodies
Yeah.
on their own time.
Yeah.
Private intelligence.
Yeah.
And like just for funsies until one of the big ones say,
Well,
hey, you're
they
doing good
think
work.
they're assuming the role of the inquisitor. They identify with the aggressor.
Or they're just fucking with you, or they're not even the person. There's so many tricks of a thing you can't see. But what was happening is this is the beginning of the consulting class of dipshit feminists that were, and this is why I fully support trans women being better than women, is because I would kill feminism. That's why I love it so much. God bless you, women plus community. I love it so much. It destroyed, because that's when you see the split of who's a lesbian that has experienced some real abuse in life, and who's just some bourgeois chick that's into this whatever Gloria Steinem type.
You do see that.
And then they split, and then that's classes before everything is how they split. Because all these like, you're a TERF. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, they all called me that because I stuck up for kids in a sauna with a woman who wouldn't cover her penis.
In LA.
Yeah.
No, this was in Oregon.
Oh.
It was in Oregon.
There was one that happened here in LA.
It happens
And
all the
by the
time.
way, those are all ethnic and minority women. Who goes to a spa like that where some guy will wander? It's like a minority brown women place, and a guy who was. It was a California story. I think Antifa went to protect the guy.
Yeah.
The guy was going to flash people. It came out later.
Yeah, of
That
course.
she got talking to.
That's what it always is.
Right.
Well, this woman, she wouldn't cover her penis, and it was 6 to 8 year old girls at the
It was-
softball team.
Nice.
It was not.
And
Sounds
I
delicious.
said-
16. I always wanted to correct you.
No, they were 8 to
It was
16.
16. It was the high school volleyball team.
Well, it's all important information for all ages to know how the better women.
I meant to tell
There's
you.
better women coming out. You might as well see the good. You might as well-
Well, they are better at sports, the trans women. Like JP.
the highest paid CEO of
Yeah.
a company
I know.
is a trans. The highest paid woman is a trans woman.
I know.
The greatest Jeopardy champ woman is
Killing it.
It's just great. I think it's fantastic.
I
I
love
forgot that joke when I was doing my act that my advice to today's woman
which one.
is to keep your penis in
Oh,
your pants, or that's my.
I mean, I hope you have one.
Yeah, if you're anybody, if you're going to be
I
anybody.
mean, I guess wash your bonus hole. I don't know what to say.
Oh, the bonus hole thing really gets me.
Tell them your theory on bonus hole, because I love it.
Well, bonus hole is a pedophile term because, pedophiles, they can't have sex with little girls because they have a little tiny vagina. Vagina.
It's from
It's right there in your face. They're putting all their nasty shit right in our face.
It's from a Disney Pixar movie, believe it or not.
It is absolutely. But I mean, it's right in our face.
Did you see? No, well, here's an example of one that I laughed so hard when I saw the video. Was that dude James O'Keefe had, I don't know who, he's talking the headmaster of a Chicago private school. It's like $40,000 a year.
Mhm.
And somehow he just brings in, bring quiz. They bring butt plugs and dildos, and the kids play with them. I thought I'm watching a sketch. Like,
No,
oh, they're making fun of what he goes. Well, do you think parents are mad? Why are they mad? It's queer sex. It's like, so I'm first of all, okay, who needs to be taught to use a butt, like $40,000 a year? Your kid can't figure out how to use a butt plug without, you pick a hole, you did it. Like, you spend that kind of money for your kid to learn how to use butt plugs. Like, that's a private school. Those Montessori, or what, maybe it's not the same thing, but those kind of schools, that's where they started trying all the wacky shit first.
Yeah, that's right.
And he let him in. My ex went to some wacky school like that, where it was like some abusive, and like I think it's still open now.
Well, they started all that pedo shit there in the private school.
Well, it starts with the fight. Like, you can scam. Oh, we do our own thing, and like, oh, Will Smith. Or was it Will Smith? Who made that school where it was like a Scientology kind of on the down low? I think it was Will Smith's school.
Yeah, I think so.
So if you got the money, you'd be like, I should just teach school. Well, that FTX kid where he's like, you should use the money and calculate the best number of good. Like, all things are numbers, and you can and you just like what do you call? Remember that train experiment? The test, the train's going to run over some other tracks, or everyone
Yeah.
will die.
Yeah.
And like, it's for that kind of. And these people just, they just think about like, okay, but how can I make it look like Russia did it so we can? they think ahead of the thing. That thinking, it's always being repackaged like it's some new, whatever, wealthy altruism, whatever the fuck. It's just like, I'm rich, I should get. So Carnegie, I guess, is the guy that made our schools.
Yeah.
No, our regular schools aren't good the way they're set up. They're, like they're set up so you work in a factory. I didn't know how explicit they were about it. I knew that, right? It's just to teach you to show up to the factory at the right time or whatever.
Exactly.
But I took it as like a George Carlin summing it up kind of thing. I didn't know that this is literally they wrote, we don't want them being artists or something. This will be the labor force we need.
Yeah, docile.
That's the shit that shocks me now, is how much is explicitly written. Because they're not thinking it's bad at all. They're
No.
Like, it lives inside you, it turns out.
It is an internal thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is like, how much can I get?
Yeah, you're supposed to go. I went the House of Cards when that came out, the American one, and I just remember like it went from a weird, like interesting crimey thing. They got from really into like almost like a West Wing for the new generation. You know, like
Yeah.
that unbearable Aaron Sorkin show.
Oh my God, that guy.
Yeah, the
Aaron
90s.
Sorkin.
The 90s fucking Rob Reiner. I wish Jedediah Bartlett was our president. Whatever the fuck. That. So their fucking kids now are like a darker version of that. And all by the way, not aliens, just people who have been told. Think of how stupid Sean Penn. Like, if you think celebrities, I would say, are degenerates and whatever, they're like the most polite, sincere, earnest people compared to the government people
Yeah.
who are the same level of partying. But an actor, at least, you expect a little bit of craziness. The lengths they must go to do like the shit they definitely doing.
They're definitely doing. I mean, biolabs.
They're just defensive. You see, it's not, you know, I don't want you to say any Russian propaganda right now, but we have biolabs, and we don't want them coming in and stealing all the dangerous cures to diseases we've been developing. We're just making as innocent cures of diseases labs, and like they're going to get all our research.
How are we going to survive all this shit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses, highest numbers they've ever done is right now, because that was the whole religion was about.
What?
The time of the end.
Oh, yeah.
But my thing is, yeah, in America, you think in Iraq, it didn't, the Jehovah's Witnesses over there, you think it might seem like Armageddon to them? I live here.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe how shitty this is. Well, I don't know if you know how pyramid schemes work, but they eventually collapse.
Yeah, that's
Like,
so right. I think that.
Yeah, well, I used to joke about it. Of like,
You can only, fuck every other country over till you run out of countries to fuck over, and there's only years left.
we need immigrants to form the base of our Herbalife pyramid.
So what's the next step?
I need more people in my downstream.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm excited about. There's new people to get downstream of my sales funnel.
Next, after the pyramid.
Yeah, I don't think
Well,
I
I
should
think
use
that
it.
is what they're doing.
We need to get on
Of
the
course.
next pyramid scheme.
What?
We need to get on the next one now, after this one crumbles.
It's too late for me.
What are we going to do?
Let's give a hope.
I
Are we just...
thought God was going to kill you guys 20 years ago, so it's really awkward for me.
Do you think that... you think this is the end, though, huh?
When Trump got elected, I remember people going like, "Oh my God, there's going to be the end of the world." I was like, "Yeah, well, they say that, but like 20 years go by, I'm still looking at all you people. Like, get your teeth fixed. Don't put it off. Regardless, I'd say, do it just in case. Get them fixed now." Jehovah's Witnesses had that. 77 was the big one. When I was born, 77, that was their big. Like, someone predicted it, and like, it's murky as to what was predicted and by whom. And because you're not supposed to say when it's coming. You're supposed to say it's coming, though.
But yeah, well, it seems like it is.
Well, they told me, the only thing I can compare it to is from when I was a kid at the same time, then when climate change is going to kill us. Yeah.
Right.
And Jehovah's Witnesses are a lot less lackey with how much Armageddon's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not smart enough. Hey, maybe it is. I don't know. I suspect what it is too late was 20 years ago, and they do know that.
Yeah,
And you're
I
going to
think
eat
that's-
bugs, and it's just for them. And,
Food's just for them.
because carbon footprint, BP made that up. The people who ruined the Gulf made up carbon footprint. Oh, like when the football players beat their wives and tell you not to beat your wife. The BP. What's your footprint like? Then you fucking poison the entire Gulf of Mexico.
For like a month straight, non-stop.
I know. We gotta stop. Then
But I mean, people buy it. It's just infuriating.
well, it's you don't have to fucking. I don't like looking stuff up. I like to know because that's why it's either a dog or a pig. Like the dog knock the ball with his nose into the hole and enjoys the game, right, and the treat, and the pig just picks the ball up and drops it in the hole because he understands what it's all about, getting that treat. So if you don't understand, for a bunch of people, the game is not the game. It's just what do I get out of this game? I'll go do another game. I just want the points. I'm not like some idiot that would sit here playing baseball or whatever We get brain damage. Like the real game is watching what I get off of this, and some people have that and don't. I think as I'm not math oriented, I don't have it as much. But I don't think it's an ethnic thing. Because of people just think like that more now. What with all the climate change caused autism out there.
There's just nothing we can do but just laugh at the scorn, I guess, huh?
I mean, I was gonna do that anyway. That was my plan the whole time.
Yeah, that is right.
Before I even back when I thought I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? I got other Germans almost died in a car accident on tour, and because the idiot driving, where he's on black ice with the Pennsylvania, and we're next to a semi truck, and he's going 65, the speed limit, but on black ice, and we're just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden, the fucking like we're getting sucked into a jet engine next to this trailer. Okay, so I'm in the passenger seat, and Barry's behind the driver. And I was like, what? And I said, what the fuck? Like 2 times. I remember exactly. It wasn't slow motion at all. I just went, what the fuck? I'm looking at the thing, and I was like, oh, I'm dead. Like, and right at that second, we swerved the other way, and the back where no one was sitting, that got pulled in, and we went back out, and dragged us down the highway, and the glass blew in. It spun us, and we spun out in the middle.
Later, Jared. Thanks for hanging out.
I remember I was sitting
Thanks for
there, me and Barry
everybody
were
who did jump in
hot,
and like the stream. I appreciate it. I'm tired.
Well, because if I was sure I was, and it was so weirdly comforting